Hello, this is Shirley, the Herbal Lady. Today we're going to talk about hair. I've got a lot of people walking into my shop that they either want to grow more hair, or they either losing too much hair, or the hair's not coming in. And people don't realize that it's what they eat and it's what they drink that causes the problem most of the time. It could be other problems too. But the first thing is, I ask them, do they take vitamins and minerals and enzymes? If they say yes, then I know that they're feeding their body. If they say no, then we have to do that. Then I ask them about protein. Are you taking protein? Well, I eat an egg a day. Well, sorry, that's not enough protein, because you need 60 to 80 grams of protein just to make your body function and renew itself. To renew new cells, you need 80 to 100 grams of protein. And it doesn't have to be meat. I drink, like this morning, I had Love and Peas and Nature's Harvest, and I had over 20 grams of protein, and I took my enzymes and everything like that. So you can do that if you will talk about what causes hair loss. And the first thing, stress, and a lot of people don't understand, stress in the body is not taking vitamins and minerals and not taking protein. I mean, and stress can be, family stress, but that is down the line. The beginning of it is you stress your body if you don't eat correctly and you don't eat towards your blood type. And a low thyroid. You just don't want a low thyroid, because a low thyroid, I hand this paper out to people when people have cold hands and cold feet, if they have fatigue, if they're slow in speech, or if they're constipated, or if they have a low body temperature. I remember this one girl came in and she said, I'm going back to my country. She said, I am freezing up here. And I told her, I said, just start taking kelp. And she started taking 5 and 5 kelp. And she said, I'm still cold. So we moved it up to 10 and 10. Because you can take up to 25, the kelp that I use, we've had it tested, and it's one of the best kelp they found, because the doctor used it for her research. And 25 kelp a day equals 12 and a half mgs of iodine. And a lot of people say, well, I'll just take iodine. Well, a lot of times iodine will not absorb in your body because you don't have the minerals. Kelp gives you the minerals. And so that's why kelp is so wonderful to take, and you don't want to take it without taking it in a capsule, because it tastes terrible. So kelp is really wonderful. But anyway, after 2 or 3 weeks, her taking 10 and 10, because she's a small young lady, probably in her 30s. And anyway, she walked in, and it was 20 below zero. I never forget it. And she had a sweater on. And I said, whoa, where's your coat? She said, I don't need it anymore. You got me on this kelp, and I feel warm all the time. And before that, she was literally freezing. And so she was literally feeding her thyroid. And your thyroid is your temperature gauge, and a lot of people don't know that. And if you have swelling of hands and feet, a lot of times that's your thyroid. If you got a knot, I had a school teacher, piano teacher, when I was like 8 or 9, I took piano lessons. And she had, they called it a goiter, and she had a great big one, and that was back in Indiana. And that's because she did not have enough iodine. And brittle hair, when you tired at AM and have energy at PM, when your energy is at night, thyroid, okay? When you have bloating and indigestion after eating, thyroid. Muscle cramping, especially at night, thyroid. Hair loss, thyroid. PMS, thyroid. Crack in the bottom of your heels, thyroid. And so, but do you know what the twin sister to your thyroid is? It's your adrenal glands. And so, and how you destroy your adrenal glands is by drinking anything that's got caffeine in it. Chocolate, coffee, black tea, and pop with caffeine in it. It literally shoots those adrenal glands, and they don't work. And when you know that your adrenal glands is not working, you're always craving sweets and salt. You gotta have salt. You can't eat one potato chip, you have to eat them all. And headaches and migraine. I have a lot of people that comes in here But what I do is when they come in with a migraine and headache and they have tried everything in the book, I said, okay, let's just start eating correctly and no caffeine. And finally they come back and they had never had a migraine. One lady had migraines for 50 years. I heard her testimony. I was quite amazed. For over 50 years, she started at 5 years old and she's already 57. And anyway, as soon as she got on she's a B blood, as soon as she got on the B blood diet, in 3 weeks, her headaches went away and never came back. And your adrenal glands help with panic attacks. Grinding your teeth at night is your adrenal glands. Low blood pressure, chronic back pain, nervousness, blood sugar disturbance, and how you check your thyroid. This is one. We can take thyroid medicine and our blood can look fine and the blood will look fine. But the doctors I've sat under, they said, you have to use one of these and check it under your armpit. When you first wake up, don't lift your head up. Put it under your armpit for 10 minutes and then bring it out. But you shake it down the night before because you can't make no movement in the morning. And if it's anything under 98, your thyroid is not working. Even if in the blood work it says it's okay, if you're under 98, under the armpit, it is not working. So you have to make sure, because most time kelp, and then I have something that's called thyroid support and thyroid activator. Activator has got all the herbs in it that's high in iodine. If you're anemia, you can lose your hair. And why is hair, even through menopause, your hair will thin. After I had my babies, my hair just came out, but I wasn't taking vitamins and minerals. I mean, you have to do the basics, and a lot of people, and it's not chemical vitamins and minerals. Last night I was listening to doctors, and the ones that I use is all vegetable based, and you've got to have something that's natural and good for you, not something that's got 14 different chemicals in it and take it one. In the middle age, you start losing 20% of your hair, and you just keep losing it. And as you get older, like past 60, most time it's your thyroid that's doing it. And how much is normal hair loss? I've always heard, ever since I can remember, it's 100 hairs a day you can lose. But if you lose over 200 hairs a day, you know something's definitely wrong and you got to be doing something about it. But it's missing, it says missing vitamin B, C, E, magnesium, and potassium, and your essential fats. And one thing I do, you got to use natural shampoo. Because if you use chemical shampoo, just think you're rubbing that chemical. I have people that uses this $1 or $2 shampoo, and it's chemical, and they're putting chemicals in their brain. And I was reading this one article, this doctor, he was taking tumors out of people's head from the shampoo and the hair dye they was using. So everything you use needs to be natural. And in my natural shampoo, I always put some rosemary. Rosemary makes your hair grow, and it brings back your natural color if you've got any left after you're 76 years old. What can I do to stop hair loss? When the body does not receive enough protein and iron, it doesn't. And guess what? Caffeine destroys iron in your blood. You have to have iron for good hair. And so you have to watch it. Vitamin B helps the formation of red blood cells to carry nutrients to your hair. The best product to help hair growth is fish and flaxseed oil and walnuts and winter squash and olive oil. I mean, all that's natural. But you got to remember, I had a girl in yesterday, but she loved the sugar. And I said, do you know sugar, if you have even one vitamin in your body, sugar takes all the vitamins and minerals out of your body. And you just don't want that at all. Omega-3 is what helps to make the shaft of the hair. And the hair growth and thickness with vitamin C, iron, and zinc, and niacin, and protein. Okay, this one, my oldest daughter, she has been on this probably ever since I went into herbs, is horsetail. And she has fingernails. My fingernails I cut about every 2 weeks because I have long fingernails. But her fingernails will get about that long. And I said, cut them. And she said, I just wait till they break off. And She lets them grow too long. But for thicker hair is MSM and C. Now, if you take MSM, make sure that you get a good MSM, because the company that I use, they won a trophy about 15 years ago for having the cleanest MSM on the market, because the other ones had heavy metal in them. And I thought, whoa, I didn't know that. So a lot of times you can get something cheaper, but you're paying for it with the heavy metal. And MSM, to open the door for it to go into your body, you have to take vitamin C. And you got to remember, if you're O blood, you have to take rose hips, because the other vitamin C is hard for us to use. Sage helps to restore hair color. Korean ginseng prevents hair loss. And as I said, the protein I use is love and peas. And you can use meat, but most time when you're old, you don't break meat down. So we eat some, mostly fish. Fish is easy to digest, but red meat, we eat it once in a blue moon, but not very much, because it's too hard to digest, and you don't get the amino acids if you cook it too much. Rosemary in your rinse for dark hair condition, it brings out the highlights. And you can use pink grapefruit essential oil for oily hair. Now, some people have facial hair as we get older. They just come because we're losing our hormones. And mineral tea tonic and nervous fatigue, those two herbs really helps to turn their adrenal glands around, so you don't get facial hair. I have people coming in here, and the women really needed to shave. And we had a next door neighbor. She had 6 kids, and she shaved every day because her hormones was out of balance. But if she had knew about these hormones, about these herbs, she would have never had to go through all that. Hair loss with HSN. HSN stands for hair, skin, and nails. I have a lot of kids, especially young kids, that's on hair, skin, and nails, and it works out really, really well. It works out, it makes you have thicker hair, and then you have to watch out for the stress. We have something that's called stress relief. It improves the circulation to the hair, and it reduces nervous tension. And mood elevator, even my husband likes that. It helps the liver and aids in energy. And Photosoy blocks the hormone that's causing your hair to fall out. So you really, that's really good. But the main thing in HSN, it's got horsetail in it, it's got dulse in it. Horsetail is high in silica. Dulse is for your thyroid. It's a seaweed. And then rosemary is for the circulation of the hair. And sage is antibacterial, antiviral. And it really, really helps. If you have dry and damaged hair, it's your digestive system and your urinary system. One of the things that helps to feed the thyroid is walnuts and macadamia nuts and vitamin E. Aloe vera juice can reverse some of the effects. It's really good for your body. And progestogen cream, because a lot of times we don't have enough in our body. But I hope some of this information helps you today, because hair is very important. But remember, if you're not eating right, the kids come in. I have teenagers come in and their hair's falling out. I have little kids, their hair's not coming in. And all they got to do is feed them more protein, more vitamins, and then you have to take the enzymes to break that down into your cells. And then you're happy, happy, happy. So have a great day and enjoy your hair.